What's up, everyone? Welcome back. Today, we're diving into the intense world of weak boy fight to be a powerful fighter, a high school where power and strategy collide. Let's break down this shit. Welcome to Yunjong High, aka the punching bag of society. This place ain't about education, it's a jungle. You either throw hands or get stomped, and the food, trash, the teachers. Missing. The students, mostly assholes. Right out the gate, we meet Donald and his crew, your typical high school douchebags. These guys treat the school like their personal playground and today's entertainment. Smacking around some poor kid for breathing wrong. They talk big, flex even harder. One of them's like, "Bro, I knocked out that guy last week." "Yeah, sure, bud." Most of their fights are 3-on-1. Real tough guys, right? Then boom, enter Gray Yeon. Small, pale, quiet. Dude looks like he's more likely to join the chess club than throw a punch. But nah, something about him feels off, like really off. Of course, the bullies can't resist. "Hey little man, you lost." They start messing with him, expecting him to beg or cry. But Gray, not a damn word, just stares like they're already 6 feet under. And then shit hits the fan. Gray throws one punch and it's game over. Not sloppy, not wild, straight up precision. He dodges, counters, and drops these guys like he's been doing this his whole life. People are shook, like what the hell did we just watch? This skinny, ghost-faced dude just soloed 3 known thugs and barely broke a sweat. Instant legend. And Gray, he just fixes his tie, brushes off the dust, and walks away like nothing happened. Cold as hell, like he's got more important shit to do than explain himself. This ain't your usual underdog story. Gray Yeon's not here to make friends. He's here to burn the damn system down, one punk at a time. Last time, Gray Yeon turned 3 punks into floor mats, now the aftermath. Pure silence. The bullies are still trying to figure out what truck hit em. Spoiler. It was one short kid with 0 emotion and deadly hands. The halls are buzzing. Everyone's like, who the hell is that guy? Some say he's a transfer. Others think he's ex-military. Either way, dude just became an overnight myth. And of course, word gets back to Donald, big boss of the school food chain. He's not happy about his guys getting wrecked. You can practically see the steam coming out of his ears. This ain't over not by a long show. Meanwhile, Gray sitting in class like nothing happened. No clout chasing, no flexing, just quietly solving math problems while everyone else is staring at him like he's the final boss of Street Fighter. Enter Eugene, nervous, curious, kind of a nerd. He tries to be friendly, maybe hoping Gray's not a complete psycho, but Gray, brick wall. No interest in small talk, no social energy, just a cold stare and silence. Elsewhere, some of the bullies are licking their wounds and plotting a comeback. They're all like, "We just weren't ready." Yeah, okay? Keep telling yourselves that while Gray's out here channeling Hitman energy. So now the school's got a new problem, and it ain't just who's toughest. It's who's crazy enough to mess with the quiet kid who fights like a trained assassin. Stay tuned. Gray shows up the next day like it's just another Tuesday. No one says a word, but everyone's watching, eyes wide, whispers flying. Dude's got main character or a turned all the way up. Eugene shoots his shot again, trying to sit with Gray at lunch like, "Hey, maybe we could be friend." Nope. Gray shuts it down with one look. Not rude, not aggressive, just ... Nope. Ice cold. We get this quick flashback, Gray practicing moves by himself, all calculated and brutal. No gym, no coach, just repetition and violence. Like he's prepping for war every damn day. Elsewhere, the punks Gray wrecked. Plotting a comeback, pride bruised, ego shattered. They're hyping themselves up like, "We just caught him off guard." Sure. Keep dreaming, boys. One dude actually tries to confront Gray solo. Bad move. Gray doesn't flinch. No words, just that dead stare again, and the bully. Yeah, He folds faster than a cheap chair. Eugene starts piecing it together. Gray's not just a fighter. He's strategic, surgical, the kind of guy who calculates angles while tying his shoes. There's something scary about how controlled he is. Chapter ends with Gray alone on the rooftop, wind blowing, no smile, just stillness. Like he's carrying something way heavier than fists and fury. The teacher finally shows up late, clueless, and clearly not paid enough to care. He looks at the class like, "You're still alive." Cool. Business as usual at Yunjong High. Eugene's talking to a buddy, still trying to figure Gray out. He's like, "Dude's scary," but he hasn't even said anything aggressive. Bro, that's what makes him scarier. Rumors are flying fast. One group says Gray used to be in a gang. Another thinks he was expelled for hospitalizing someone. Truth is, nobody knows a damn thing, and that mystery, it's eating them alive. Meanwhile, Gray's just sitting there, eyes scanning the room like a sniper. Calm, unreadable. He's not just quiet, he's observing. Like he's got every move mapped out 5 steps ahead. Then we get a new challenge or another tough guy, thinks he's built different. Walks up to Gray, throws out some trash talk, trying to rattle him. Spoiler alert, Gray doesn't even blink. Boom, fight breaks out in the hallway, but this time Gray's not involved. Just other groups going at it, and what does Gray do? He watches, not scared, not interested, just calculating. Eugene starts realizing Yunjong isn't a school, it's a war zone with desks. Strength runs the show, and Gray, he doesn't play by the usual rules. He's an entirely different blueprint. Episode closes with Gray walking home alone. Same uniform, same silence, but you can feel the pressure building. Like a storm's coming and Gray's gonna be the eye of it. They thought he was a nobody. But in this twisted food chain, Gray Yian's not just climbing the ladder, he's yanking people off it one by one. New day, same tension. People are still walking on eggshells around Gray. Dude barely says 2 words, but his presence alone's got half the class double-checking their dental plans. Eugene's back at it, sits next to Gray with a lunch tray and pure optimism. He's trying to crack the code, throwing out light convo like, "Hey, you like movies?" Gray doesn't even blink. This man's immune to small talk. Later, Eugene hears some kids talking trash saying Gray's just lucky, a fluke. And for the first time, Eugene snaps back. You weren't there. You didn't see it. Loyalty activated. Of course, there's always that one guy. Thinks he's tough, wants to make a name by taking Gray down. Corny one-liners, puffed chest, the whole alpha male starter pack. Gray just looks at him like he's already irrelevant. And then plot twist, Gray talks, one short line. Calm, surgical, and enough to shut the dude up instantly. It's the kind of silence afterwards that hits harder than a punch. Eugene, being the curious bean he is, low-key follows Gray after school. Not in a creepy way, just trying to get a glimpse of what this guy's deal is, what he finds, not what he expected. Just does it and keeps walking, no flex, no thanks needed. Eugene's watching like, wait, this guy might actually be human. The chapter ends with Eugene rethinking everything. Gray's not just some fighting machine, he's a whole iceberg, and they've only seen the tip. They underestimated Gray Yian because he's quiet. What they don't get. That silence is louder than most people's war cries. Yunjong's hallways are basically an octagon. Now another fight breaks out. Different crew, same chaos, and guess what? Teachers still Mia. This place might as well hand out brass knuckles with the textbooks. Eugene's in the crowd, clutching his backpack like it's body armor. He's not built for this, but he can't look away. He's low-key hoping Gray doesn't get dragged into the mess again. One of Donald's guys spots Gray just standing there, watching. You can tell he's debating whether to poke the bear again. Spoiler alert, bad idea. But dumb people love testing fate. Gray steps forward not to fight, but to stop the whole thing. Calm voice, no shouting, just presence. And somehow, it works, the chaos fizzles. That's power without even lifting a fist. Whispers start flying. Did you see that? Why'd they back off? Gray doesn't even acknowledge it. Just walks off like he escalates brawls between bites of rice balls. Eugene chases after him again, trying to connect. He's like, "Why'd you help?" And Gray give him this simple line, something soft but sharp, not mean, not friendly, just real. We get the tiniest flash, just a glimpse of Gray's past, a bruised face, a dark room. It's quick, but it says everything. Whatever shaped this guy. It left scars deeper than fists. Chapter ends with Gray heading back inside like nothing happened, but the weight's building. Something big's coming and Gray is just sharpening the blade. He doesn't fight for clout. He doesn't fight for pride. Gray Yeon fights with purpose, and that's what makes him dangerous. Big boss alert. Donald Na finally steps on the scene. Clean uniform, smug face, full villain energy. You can tell right away this ain't a dude who fights fair. He runs the school like it's his personal fight club. His boys start filling him in. "Yo, some short transfer kid folded 3 of our guys." Donald just smiles. Not worried, not impressed, just curious. Like a lion hearing about a mouse that bites. We get a flashback to Donald doing what he does best, straight up annihilating someone twice his size. Efficient, brutal, zero hesitation. If Gray's a scalpel, Donald's a sledgehammer. Back to Eugene. Dude's basically narrating his own anxiety at this point. He's like, "Gray, you do know you pissed off the actual boss of the school, right?" Gray barely reacts, just keeps walking, unbothered. Donald's got eyes on Gray now. One of his guys starts tailing him after school, shadowing him like it's a recon mission. And Gray, he knows, doesn't look back, doesn't run, just lets it happen. And then Gray turns a corner into an alley. Alone, no one around, no witnesses. The guy following him starts getting real nervous because deep down he realizes he's the one being hunted. Gray doesn't say much, just a look, a step forward, and suddenly the whole vibe flips. That bully's confidence, gone. He knows he messed with the wrong ghost. But Gray doesn't throw a punch, doesn't need to. Just stares him down until the guy bolts like a roach under a spotlight. Sometimes silence is the loudest flex. Lines are getting drawn. The Kingpin just clocked his newest threat, and Gray, he's not backing down, he's just getting started. Eugene's still hanging around Gray like a loyal puppy with anxiety. He's trying to be casual, but you can see the panic. Like, "Hey, so people want to kill you. Cool, right?" New hyenas enter the scene. They've heard the stories, but they're not sold. Gray's size still fools them. They think maybe they'll be the ones to crack the legend. Cute. Gray steps out, headed to the bathroom, just trying to exist, and boom, ambush, cornered, 3-on-1, the classic welcome package at Yoonjong. But Gray, he doesn't panic, doesn't even flinch. What follows is surgical. He dismantles them one by one, fast, clean, emotionless. Like he's brushing lint off his jacket. A teacher finally strolls in, of course, right after the fight's over, sees the chaos, asks no questions. Just gives Gray a warning like he's the problem. Classic Yoon-jong. Back in class, Gray's the picture of innocence. Clean uniform, blank expression, hands folded. Meanwhile, 3 dudes are somewhere icing their ribs and reevaluating life.